The D-segment SUV space has traditionally been one that's been rather cold, but Jaecoo seems to have different ideas with the C9, particularly with prices starting under 170,000 ringgit. So, the new flagship from Jaecoo, is it worth the time? And more importantly, is it worth that 10-year warranty? My name is AIMAN ABDULLAH, this is Malaysian Motoring, and this is our launch coverage of the new Omoda C9. Now, regardless of which variant you go for, under the bonnet you'll find a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine producing 261 horsepower and 400 Newton meters of torque. That power goes to an 8-speed automatic gearbox, either to an all-wheel drive system or just front-wheel drive. And again, prices start from under 170 grand. Now, in terms of the design, even though this is represented by Jaecoo, the Omoda C9 certainly looks very different indeed. Up front, you have the Sigma daytime running lights, which look very distinctive, underneath which sit a full set of full LED headlights, replete with adaptive high beam. You also get a new interesting grille design down here with no opening up top, as well as very clear and very distinctive Omoda badging up here. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this certainly looks upmarket, as denotes its D-segment positioning. Down the side, rolling stock is handled by a set of 20-inch alloy wheels wrapped in Michelin Primacy tires, again further underscoring this car's premium appeal. You also get flush door handles along a coupe-like roofline. Omoda says that this is a SUV coupe, although admittedly this rear end is not nearly as dramatic as some that we've seen before, which I appreciate because I think it looks better. As we move to the back, you have Energy Matrix LED tail lights, which as far as I'm concerned just look very nice. And of course, you also get a set of quad fake exhaust tips in order to allow that engine to breathe. Now, in terms of practicality, the Omoda C9 is actually not that bad, because behind the standard fit electric tailgate, you will find plenty of room in here. Regardless of whether or not you get the 2-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, practicality is very, very well catered for, and you even get a full-size spare underneath the boot floor. Again, this is despite the fact that this car is available as an all-wheel drive model, which means that packaging has very clearly been focused on for this car. The interior of the Omoda C9 is also as upmarket as one would expect, with lots of premium materials and premium finishes about the place, including some plasti-wood here and here. But as far as I'm concerned, the way it's been executed does make this car feel like a more upmarket experience. You even have these very interesting looking tweeters in the corner, which remind me a little bit of the motorized units you used to get from Bang & Olufsen in high-end Audis. However, in terms of the overall presentation of this car, it is a little bit of a mixed bag, sort of between Mercedes-Benz and several other luxury brands. For example, the controls for the seats live on the doors themselves, which is a very Mercedes touch. You also get these 3 knurled dials up front, which again look very upmarket, and they feel very nice to hold and manipulate. And these at least provide good tactility for those who need to make air conditioning adjustments, because although the majority of the controls live in the screen, at least you now have options. The same goes for the steering wheel, because although this looks like a completely different unit from what we've seen before, it is at least adjustable, which means that you have plenty of comfort. You do not get angle adjustment on the seat, which is unfortunate, but at least you still get 3-stage memory. In terms of the screens, you get a couple of very large 12.4-inch or 12.3-inch displays, 2 of them, one for the instrument cluster and one for the central infotainment display. This controls the majority of your functions, and it is worth noting that this user interface is unique to the Omoda C9, because we certainly haven't seen this from any other Chery or Jaecoo models before. That said, however, the instrument cluster does seem a little bit familiar, because overall this layout and design is very similar to what we've seen before from the Jaecoo J7, replete with the touch panel on this side to control things like your around view monitor, hill descent control, as well as your traction control system. Now, beyond that, you also get a set of touch-sensitive buttons on the steering wheel itself to control your ADAS functionalities as well as your infotainment system. You get a set of very nice-feeling paddle shifters back here, replete with some soft-touch plastic on the back to improve, again, the tactility of this car in order to manipulate that 8-speed automatic gearbox. You get a wireless phone charger on this side. You get a very large space here for cup holders, as well as another space down here with a little hidden cubby hole for more valuable items. The center console is also relatively large and air-conditioned to ensure that that even if you put drinks in here, they do stay cool. As far as I'm concerned, this looks and feels very upmarket, and that's even before we get onto the upgraded Sony audio system replete with speakers in the headrest on higher end models, as well as the 64 color ambient lighting system that bathes the entirety of the cabin. Also, have I pointed out the standard fit panoramic sunroof? The back of the Omoda C9 is also suitably premium with a very long wheelbase. It means that I benefit from a huge amount of space. With the front seat set up in the position of a slightly taller gentleman from Paul Tan, as you can see, I have a good amount of kneeroom and a pretty decent amount of headroom despite that coupe-like roofline, which is all well and good. On top of that, I even have electric adjustment for my backrest should I want to sit more upright or if I'd like to take a slightly more relaxed position in this car. I also have my own controls for the blower motor. Unfortunately, I only have one central air conditioning vent. The same goes in terms of charging, where there's only one USB-A and USB-C port back here, but at least there is a Boss switch on the side of the front seat, I should say, in order to make even more space for the left or captain seat in this car. It is worth pointing out that if you intend to use this as a family car, you also have ISOFIX mounts on the two outer seats, and because of that long wheelbase, it should mean that bulky rear-facing child seats should fit relatively comfortably without pushing against the backs of the front seats. However, the doors don't open as wide as we'd like in order to do that, but at least it is comfortable for adults. Speaking of which, said adults will be able to enjoy the armrest back here, replete with a couple more cup holders, and if you need even more space to hide things, the door bins are large enough for 1.5-litre size bottles, and there's even pockets behind the front seats in order to hide some things, including somebody's forgotten pack of cigarettes. In terms of safety, the Omoda C9 is absolutely chock full of the active safety systems that you'd expect from a vehicle from the Chery group, which means that you have essentially level 2.5 semi-autonomy, replete with all the functions you'd expect, as well as a 540-degree around view camera in order to ensure that you have maximum visibility when parking or when you're off-roading. Not that anyone's going to do that. The Omoda C9 comes in at 168,000 ringgit for the two-wheel drive model and 188,000 ringgit for the all-wheel drive model. In terms of warranty and after-sales, they do assure that it is competitive, and for customers that purchase or make a booking for the Omoda C9 between today until Sunday, you will even get an early bird package which sweetens the deal even further. Let us know what you think about the new Omoda C9 in the comment section below. Do you think that this will mark a resurgence in the D-segment SUV space, or would you rather spend your money somewhere a little bit more predictable, like say a Hyundai Santa Fe or a Proton X90? In any case, that concludes our launch coverage of the Omoda C9. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell icon so notified every time we make a new upload. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you can join our new WhatsApp channel. All the links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. We will catch you in the next one. Take care and stay safe.